The Federal Ministry of Finance said it has approved payments to more than 1,240 contractors, providing immediate liquidity support to businesses across the country and reinforcing the federal government's commitment to meeting its financial obligations. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck the southern Philippines on Monday, killing at least 15 people, collapsing buildings and sparking tsunami warnings across the region. Philippine authorities urge people in affected coastal regions to move to higher ground after the offshore quake hit south of General Santos, a city of about 720,000. A series of powerful aftershocks rocked the area from about 2 hours after the first quake, according to the United States Geological Survey, with the largest measuring 6.5 magnitude. At number 9, Real Madrid have announced that Florentino Pérez has won the club's presidential election, securing a new term at the helm of the Spanish giant. In an official statement issued via the club's website on Monday morning, the club's electoral board said, with 100% of the in-person and postal votes counted, the candidacy headed by Mr. Florentino Pérez has won the elections for president and board of directors of Real Madrid. According to the electoral board, Pérez's vote received 21,741 votes, representing 65% of the total votes cast. At number 8, a former Ogun State Central Senator, former Commissioner for Health, and daughter of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, Senator Iyabo Obasanjo, has resigned her membership of the All Progressives Congress, citing persistent disrespect, rejection, and unfair treatment by the party's leadership in Ogun State. Obasanjo, who recently contested for the party's governorship ticket in the state, announced her resignation in a letter dated May 31st and addressed to the Ogun APC chairman, Chief Yemi Sanusi. A copy of the letter was made available to journalists in the state's capital. At number 7, the Lagos Waste Management Authority has condemned the attack on its enforcement officers by suspected illegal waste operators during an environmental monitoring exercise along the Lagos to Badagry Expressway. The managing director of LOMA, Dr. Muyiwa Badegesin, issued the condemnation in a statement released on Monday in Lagos by the agency's Director of Public Affairs, Mr. Mukaila Sanusi. Badegesin described the incident as unacceptable and warned against any attempt to obstruct the agency's lawful enforcement activities. At number 6, the Federal High Court in Lagos has declared unlawful the National Assembly's controversial 110 billion Naira expenditure on vehicles and allowances for lawmakers, holding that the spending violated procurement laws, constitutional obligations, and the public trust. In a judgment delivered on May 6, 2026, Justice Yelin Bogoro ruled that a planned expenditure of 40 billion Naira for the procurement of 465 vehicles for members of the National Assembly and 70 billion Naira in support allowances for newly elected lawmakers breach the provisions of the Public Procurement Act, the Code of Conduct for Public Officers, and the oath of office prescribed by the Constitution. At number 5, the federal government has processed payments exceeding 700 billion Naira in verified obligations owed to local contractors over the past few months, including 436.6 billion Naira disbursed in May alone as part of efforts to clear long-standing debt and boost economic activity. The Federal Ministry of Finance disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday by its Director of Information and Public Relations, Efe Ovakpore, noting that payment had also been approved for more than 1,240 contractors across various ministries, departments, and agencies. According to the ministry, the approvals were granted by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, following a verification and reconciliation exercise to ensure that only duly validated claims qualified for payments. At number 4, the police in Ekiti State said on Monday that 2 additional suspects had been arrested in connection with the abduction and assault on the chairman of Ikere West Local Council Development Area, Rufus Olorunfemi, and one Funsho Ajayi. The police also dismissed allegations by the People's Democratic Party deputy governorship candidate in next week's election, Ayodeji Ogunsaki, that the command was intimidating, harassing, and illegally arresting their members through its Rapid Response Squad unit. Recall that the police had said over the weekend that they arrested an initial 3 suspects who abducted the council bus at Ikere, Ekiti. The police public relations officer, Ekiti State Command, Sunday Abutu, said in a statement in Ado Ekiti that 2 suspects, one Daramala Shehinde and Oluyede Dapo, were arrested on the 6th of June 2026 2026 by the Command Violent Crime Response Unit, in addition to the 3 suspects arrested on June 4, 2026. At number 3, no fewer than 16 lock-up shops were destroyed in a late-night fire outbreak at the Nine-Post shopping complex in Dugbe, Ibadan on Saturday, a few minutes before midnight. The intervention of the Oyo State Fire Services Agency prevented the blaze from spreading to the Nine-Post building and other adjoining properties in the area. According to the agency, firefighters led by Chief Fire Superintendent Adedeji promptly mobilized to the scene after a distress call was received at exactly 11:37 p.m. on Saturday. At number 2, the Ogun State government has inaugurated a multi-sectoral Safe School Steering Committee to address critical and emerging security challenges and ensure a conducive atmosphere for teaching and learning. The committee is expected to provide leadership in developing and implementing policies, strategies, and programs that will enhance school safety, improve emergency preparedness, among other responsibilities. Inaugurating the committee in Abeokuta, the state's capital, the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, said the composition of the committee was based on members' expertise, experience, and institutional responsibilities. At number 1, the Federal Ministry of Finance said it has approved payment to more than 1,240 contractors, providing immediate liquidity support to businesses across the country and reinforcing the federal government's commitment to meeting its financial obligations. The approval granted by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, follows a diligent verification and reconciliation undertaken by the ministry to ensure that only duly validated obligations qualify for payment. According to a statement on Monday by Mary Ann Duke, Senior Special Assistant on Communication and Press Secretary to the Minister of Finance. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.